Wow, it's actually working today. I've really been having some struggles with my webcam and my laptop and all that stuff. So I'm a little early, but that's okay. I'm just got so much going on with all this fun coloring. I've been really enjoying it. Oh, all this stuff's going on. So I hope you guys are having a good Friday and hopefully some people will jump on. I know it's a busy day. Let's get that in there. Try that again. So, not my normal time, so I don't know if anybody will be able to catch me live today, but I'm going to show you another way to color. Now, I did these with watercolor pencils. Okay. I don't know if you've ever used them with blender pens. You use stazon ink with watercolor pencils. So I am going to get some things moved around so we can get going. Hi, Tracy. It's working today. Yay. So I'm going to flip my camera down. Hopefully that will, let's move this over just a little bit. Never know which way I've got to do it, depending on if it's my phone or the webcam or whatever. It's just, you just never know, right? Never know. Trying to scooch it over so we don't see so much of all this other stuff. You know my craft room, it's a hot mess. So, as I was saying, I colored these. This one I watercolored with pencils, and then this last one I'm like, okay, let's see what happens with using blender pens, because you're not supposed to use blender pens with stazon ink. But I tried not to get onto the lines, and it turned out pretty good. So that's my attempt at watercolor. It really is best. I use the mixed florals, so I have used that. There, mixed florals. But they're polymer, and polymer, see what happens when you use stazon ink? It makes them dark. It stains them, even when you clean them right away. Even when you use the stazon cleaner. They do much better with rubber, so that's why I switched to using a rubber stamp set today. Excuse me. So I've got an assortment of watercolor pencils, but I'm going to get the paper cut first. So you need a base that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and that's what I'm using, Misty Moonlight. Then you need a piece of designer series paper that is 5 1/4 by 12. Okay, let me see if I can get it the right way. You need to score it at 1 inch, 4 inch, 6 inch, and 8 inch. Very easy, fun fold. Okay, got that. You're going to need a piece for the inside that's 3 3/4 by 5, and you'll need scrap. So I'm going to move my paper trimmer out of the way. And so the end piece is the biggest piece. You're just going to be folding your paper. I want to have the Misty Moonlight color at the very front, so I'm putting the pink on the inside. Okay. And then this. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Easy, easy. And this just gets glued right on here. Now, if you wanted to, you can use a belly band for this card. You could use ribbon to tie this if you wanted to. I'm not using anything, but you could. You could add all those elements on to kind of keep this card from coming out. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this whole menagerie of folds on here. And there you go. That's your basic card, okay? Super easy. So I've got this flower that comes, I'm using the Spotlight on Nature, okay, because I did want to use one of the circle dies, which I cut out. And that is this one right here. This is a standalone die set. It doesn't have to be with this because the dies don't cut out any of this, okay? But I think I'm going to want to stamp this on there too after I cut out. They've got like a speckle and crosshatch thing, so I think I'm going to use the crosshatch thing. And I'm probably going to use the black, but I want to stamp it off, I think. I'm just going to put that on here, but I don't want it really dark. Okay. But that's the black that I have out, so we're just going to do like that. And one more. Maybe we'll do it this way. Just stamp it off a little bit, and then you want to get the ink off right away with stazon, because it does stay on, and it will stay on your stamp. Okay, so I got that prepared. I already colored leaf, and I did my sentiment, which is going to be on the front. This is going to be on another panel. That. Okay, so, but we're going to color this and do the butterfly. So when you use watercolor pencils, this wonderful tool, it's called a blender pen. Do you have a blender pen, Tracy? So I am going to use more blues. On this card, I used more pinks, and I used the Wink of Stella on it. So I'm going to do a different color palette. Okay, so I want blues. So you can get the same. You don't have to be a good colorer. This is not about good coloring, at least as far as I'm concerned. That's why this is a good thing for me. I'm not as detail oriented. I've got a friend, Maria, who is a phenomenal colorer. And of course, I know Jay. He's a great colorer in the UK. And so is Heather Thomas in the UK. They're really good colors. I'm going to see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next because I haven't used these color combinations. I thought it was funny. In the new set that I got, it just says blue. That's all it says. Blue. All the others have color names. I want to see how this looks. I might need to not need to use anything. Yeah, I might not. And this blender pen is just like anything else. When you've got color on something, you want to get it off, you just kind of swash it on your scrap paper. Okay. Yeah. I like this actually probably more than wrong color. Purple. We need purple. Purple. I like this, and I'm just putting a lot of pressure on this and just trying to get a lot of the color off the pencil. Okay, so I did that. Now we'll use this and let the magic happen. And this is watercolor paper. I suggest watercolor paper. Like if you use the basic white, it can pill. You know, get those little pill marks on it because it warps the paper. This watercolor paper is it's not really white. It is more of a vanilla color. So that could be a hindrance. But I like this. I like how this works. Okay, so there's that. I'm trying to get all my ink off my pen, get it to come clear. Now green. I've got garden green and granny apple green. So I, just like with my other leaf, I'm just doing the dark color in the center. And don't use like, you need like a handheld pencil sharpener, because these pencils will fall apart. They are not like a regular terracotta or whatever they are pencil. And I'm just adding some of the light green in here. Okay. And make sure, yep, I'm off. And then I'm just going to bring the green into the light green, add some color. So just like with blender pens, I use 2 colors, or you could use 3, depending on if your image is big enough. Okay. But I just love how that looks. Can you see how the green looks? And you can use your pencil, but my green is really getting kind of fat. I need to trim it down, but I'm so afraid I'm going to mess it up when I sharpen it in my handheld paper trimmer. I mean, pencil. See how that doesn't have much of a tip? I don't know if I can color in there or not without making it a big fat line. Like that. Let's get this one just a little bit. After this, I got to sharpen that pencil. So there is that. I'm going to cover the, oh, I got to get the green off. Let's get the green off. I'm just wiping off on the paper. And then I have to do my most favorite thing of all, fussy cutting. There was a little sarcasm in there. I don't mind doing sentiments. They're small, but I'm not going to do a real detailed trimming on this. But I like how this looks. It makes it look like I'm a lot better colorer than I am. So come back up. Let's try and get, how they say, move your hand, not the scissors, but I get caught up in the paper. And I have to move my hand to get myself out of the paper that I'm cutting away. So there's that. I know need a lot of sympathy cards as of lately, which is not a good thing. So my husband went to the cardiologist today. First time. He was supposed to have hernia surgery, but I guess with family history, and he has a lot of medications that he takes. He's only 64, but you know, the high blood pressure, the cholesterol, now he's diabetic, all those things. Okay. So there you go. That's the only one you have to watch me cut. So there is that. And I want to put that on there. And I'm going to put, this is going on dimensionals. That's what I'm going to do. This is going to go on dimensionals here. So we'll put some of those on going down. I want to make sure I go down the middle. Okay. So that I have those little crosshatch designs on each side. Okay. I know that's not a straight line, is it? Okay. I hope I did that right. So I'm going to put that right there. See, that one is sticking out. That is not what I want. Can I pull it off? I think I can pull it off. Stick it over. There you go. Oh, stick it over. Is it going to stick? There. Okay, good enough. This is going to get glued right there. Let's try not to do so much glue this time. Because I did too much on my other card. And it came swishing out. So like that. Hopefully that is good. Yes. And then we'll put this on with, I'll use some little partial dimensionals to put on my little seine. I have all these little pieces, which I'm going to cut so I can use them. That can go there. That can go there. And then one more. Here's one more. Let's see. Cut them in. I know I have some mini ones somewhere, but whoops. It went flying. And that one, I guess I could use my take your pick tool instead of my fat little fingers, huh? I just love this technique. I really like using the watercolor pencils. And I don't use them that much. Make sure that's straight. That's straight. Okay, so we got that as the front. Oh, wink of Stella. Got to do the wink of Stella. So he went to see a cardiologist, I was saying. He went to see a cardiologist. And of course, they want to do, you guessed it, more testing. Everything came back fine. All of his blood work, everything is good. But because he's got family members that have had heart issues and died from them, yeah, he has to get more tests. So we have to wait. Everything has to wait. So here's the butterfly that I stamped from that. And I need to do a little bit here with that. Make sure my color's off. Yep. Okay. So I'm doing purple, just the blue. I really don't want to get it into the pink per se. Just want to use the gorgeous grape and the blue. I just can't get over that blue. It's just blue. It's definitely not. I'm just getting that color off because you can kind of muddy the colors. I think I need a little bit more. That was that Flirty Flamingo? I think so. Let's add a little bit more Flirty Flamingo right there. Just scribble in. You don't have to be careful about it. And now we will do another one of Wink of Stella on this. If I had dyes for these, I would totally make them glossy using tape, but I'm not die cutting them out. So there's that. So we have that. This needs to go right here. So I just want to adhere half of it, like this half on there. Just want to do that. So I'm going to pull that off the table and do that half. And I did the same technique with green, garden green in the center and doing that granny apple green, and that's how it blended together. So then you got that. And then this goes inside. Although I could put something else on here. It just reminds me there's something else I might want to put on this. So we are going to put that right here. This was 3 3/4 by 5 vanilla. There's that. And I have my two-tone sparkle gems. Let's cover this. Two-tone sparkle gems. They're very pretty. Lots of colors in them. That's good enough. That's good for that. So then you have that. So you've got multiple stuff going on. But I think I'm going to put something else on there. I think I'm going to go use It's Okay to Sit and Simply Feel How You Feel. That's what I want to put on there. This one. So I do want to put that in my cards, or my sympathy cards. Okay, let's see if we can get this straight. Ooh, that's pretty straight. Ooh, sorry, that was noisy. It's pretty straight. So there's your card. I should have put that a little more over so you don't see the L, but that's the card. So I hope you like it. Hope you give this one a try. This was another one, just the front that I did of a different stamp set using the It's Okay. No dies, but they're rubber, so haven't put that on anything yet. Don't forget Last Chance. Oh my gosh, the goodies. I think I've got 3 retired sets in my cart. So I'm just waiting so I can I'm going to place my order very shortly, hopefully. Because I'm doing, my mini retreat, so put that one right there. Again, I did straight 2 times in a row. Oh my gosh. It's going to be a good day. So, oh, that went the same way. I thought I was going to do it backwards. I obviously did it wrong, not wanting to. I thought I would do the other way, the blue being out there. I'm such a goober. Such a goober. I was backwards. Which do you like better, the blue, purple, or the pink, Tracy? Yeah, you're very true. It's getting old is not for the faint of heart. All these things keep popping up. So do you like the blue flowers better or the pink? Which color would be your choice? I mean, I do like them both. I do like them both. It's pretty. So, and I was going to recap. You like the purple. Okay, you vote for the purple. So these cards were really easy. It just takes patience. Okay, man, that's a dirty block. Oh my gosh, it's dirty. So for this technique, the water wash, I took 2 colors of Stampin' Right markers, okay? And I color, and then I color this other color. I better move these away because I will cause a mess. I know I will. You do that, you take, let's see, your spritzer with water. Got that. Let's get some watercolor paper. Do I have some? There's some. There's a scrap piece. Okay. So you take those 2 things and you spray. Okay. Ooh, there's a hair in there. Don't want that. I don't care if it moves around, but then what you got to do is put it on here. Okay, and you want to leave it there for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Don't mess with it. Just set it aside. Don't pay any attention to the square over there and do something else. And then when you come back, your paper will have this kind of wash. You can put a nice image right there. That's how you get that. And for this one, I just cut the panels up and I stamped on each panel, cut the paper up. That's how I did that one. And you saw my using the Stampin' Right markers on rubber stamps. So that's what I did with that one. And this one was using the finger dauber, doing part of your stamp one color and one the other. So that was my techniques. Oh, and this one. I really like this card doing this. Sorry. I like just the different panels. So those were all the different color challenges that I did this week. So yeah, the watercolor paper, it reacts differently, and it doesn't get all, like I said, when you use the white paper, this technique is fine for the white paper. You don't have to use watercolor paper for this, but it warps more. But when you're using the blender pen, that kind of thing, you really need watercolor paper. It works so much better. So anyway, I hope you give some of these ideas a try. And I will see y'all later. I'll see you next week on Monday. Hopefully this will work again Monday. I hope so. So, love y'all. Bye.